Hello everyone, today's topic for discussion is Sustainable Development Goals. Sustainable Development Goals, these are also some of the goals which are being put forward by the United Nations. Majorly there are 17, and under that there are more 169 goals which we will be discussing about today. You can also join us on Telegram. This is our Telegram's link at Operation OK. You can join us and you can avail the PDF. First of all, we are going to discuss what is actually sustainable development. Sustainable development is the organizing principle. First, let us start by just defining it. Sustainable development is the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. That is, in no way should the present requirement of the needs and the resources should hamper the resources which would be available for our future generation. For example, if we have a need of producing or fulfilling the needs for the present industries, we should not utilize the resources in such a way that we cannot fulfill, or the resources would be scarce for the upcoming generations, or it should not harm the natural system available at present. It can be also that the state of society should not be hampered, neither of the present and neither of the upcoming. Now we are going to discuss briefly the 17 development goals put forth by the United Nations. But before that, we'll have just a brief overview of what are the 17 development goals. These 17 development goals, let us see an overview that the sustainable goals are a collection of 17 global goals set by United Nations. These are also known as Transforming Our World, the 2030 Agenda. Actually, on September 2015, 193 countries came together in the UN General Assembly and adopted the 2030 Development Agenda. And these are the goals which are put forth. Let me show you the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. We'll be having a look at them as we move forward in this slide. Let me remind you that you can avail these videos on our Telegram channel. First of the goal is the goal of no poverty. The tagline for no poverty is end poverty in all its form everywhere. We all are aware about the poverty in the entire world. The entire world is, let me say, that affected by the poverty. This poverty has to, in order to remove this poverty, goal 1 is the no poverty. That is that the inequality and the climate changes and all the factors that affect the economy in a country or in a particular place should be handled and taken care of so that the poverty is eradicated from that. The goal 2, which we'll be discussing, is zero hunger. The tagline for it is end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. Well, in order to tell about it, let me say that goal 2 targets state that by 2030 we should end hunger and all forms of malnutrition. These all sustainable development goals are intended to be achieved by 2030. The third goal is good health and well-being for people. Ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. That is, that there is a tremendous decrease in the life expectancy which has been observed over the years. So this may be also defined as that we have to take care of all the factors which has led to the decrease in the life expectancy and various other mortalities, such as the child and maternal mortalities. These all should also be taken care of. The next is the quality education. Education, as we all are aware of, that education is a very crucial and a prime role, and although major progress has been made in access to education, specifically at the primary school level. The tagline for it is that we should ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. The fifth sustainable development goal is the gender equality. The tagline for it is achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. Unfortunately, there has not been the distribution of opportunities were not equal in very early times. In view of that, we have a gender equality sustainable development goal, so that nobody is discriminated on the basis of anything, especially gender. Sixth goal is clean water and sanitation. This is let me say that basic hygiene is very important. Open defecation and various other things which have been practiced or unfortunately are a part of our world should be eradicated as soon as possible. The tagline is ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. We are just briefly discussing the sustainable development goals. The series, which is the main objective, is just to enlighten you about the sustainable development goals rather than to discuss them in the detail. The seventh goal would be affordable and clean energy. Energy is a very vital and a very important role. Nobody can imagine a life without electricity, especially for a person who is well equipped and surrounded by technology. The tagline is ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. This would involve improving energy efficiency and enhancing international cooperation to facilitate more open access to clean energy technology and investment in clean energy infrastructure. Goal 8 is decent work and economic growth. promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. By 2030, which is the industry time completion for them, the target is to establish policies for sustainable tourism, also that will create jobs. The goal 9 is industry, innovation, and infrastructure. These are three very important words which play a very important role in a country or in any particular area. Build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. Let me say by just saying that innovation is the key here. Innovation will lead to the industry and infrastructure, which will ultimately lead to the growth. The goal 10 is reduce inequality in any form. Now the tagline is reduce inequality within and among countries. Particularly here, inequality is that we observe that some countries are well-versed or well-off, and some countries are under poverty or various other factors which are unfortunately they are affected with, but some are flourishing like anything. So therefore, in order for every country to flourish, we need equality everywhere. It should be among the countries and even within the countries. Nobody should be having inequality, should be suffering from inequality in any aspect. Goal 11. This is also targeted for 2030 to ensure to safe and affordable housing. Sustainable cities and communities is the goal 11. Make cities and human settlement inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. There are various indicators which would be used for measuring all these sustainable development goals, and according to these indicators, all these 17 goals would be measured. Well, let me say briefly discuss about the sustainable development goal. There are 169 targets for the 17 goals in actual. That these are just the 17 goals which would be the heading, but inside them there would be in actual 169 targets, and about 304 indicators would be there, which would be helping us in assessing the growth or development or progress which you are making in the towards the sustainable development goals. Now let's talk about the goal number 12, which is the responsible consumption and production. Using eco-friendly production methods and reducing the amount of waste we generate, the targets. This is the major crux of the goal 12. Ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns is the tagline for it. Now, the goal 13 would be climate action. Of course, we are very well aware of the fact that global warming is a very, I would say, that critical agenda or topic of the need of the hour is to take care of the climate action so that there are no adverse effects. And these are, as I've already said, that sustainable development goal should be basically means that the requirements of the present generation is fulfilled without affecting the requirements or hampering the environment in any way, and also not hampering the resources which would be available for the future generation. Similarly, if the climate is not controlled in any way, then the earth would have adverse effects, and that would lead to the biosphere being hampered by it. The tagline is take urgent action, as I've already said, need of the hour, to combat climate change and its impacts by regulating emissions and promoting development in renewable energy. Let's discuss about goal number 14, which is life below water. Well, oceans cover about 71% of the Earth's surface, and below the Earth's surface, the oceans, particularly, or the sea, lakes also, life exists in form of fishes, sharks, octopus, and various other forms, including plants also, plants, algae. Therefore, they are also a part of Earth, and conserve and sustainably use the ocean, sea, and marine resources for sustainable development is the tagline for the goal 14, life below water. Goal 15 is life on land. Protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystem, sustainably manage forests, combat desertification, and halt and reverse land degradation and halt biodiversity loss. This goal articulates targets for preserving biodiversity of forest, desert, and mountain ecosystem as a percentage of total land mass. And Goal 15 also calls for more attention to preventing invasion of alien species and more protection of endangered wildlife. Now, Goal 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions. Well, in a way that reducing violent crime and sex trafficking, forced labors, and child abuse are also part of this goal. Promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, provide access to justice for all, and build effective, accountable, and inclusion institution at all levels is the tagline for it. And the last but not the least goal would be the goal 17, that is partnership for the goals. Strengthen the means of implementation, revitalize the global partnership for sustainable development. In actual, increasing the international cooperation is seen as a vital to achieving each of the 16 previous goals. Therefore, goal 17 is a part to ensure that these all goals are achieved by cooperation. In my every presentation, you would find this slide. This is a learn a word with every slide, with every presentation. The word for today is promulgate. This means promote or make widely known an idea or a cause. That is to promote something. For example, let's put it in a sentence. To promulgate the benefits of his healthcare plan, the president will tour the country and make numerous speeches. This is a very self-explainable sentence that the meaning is that the president intends to take a tour of the country, and in order to promote the idea of the healthcare plan and the benefits, and to make aware of the benefits to the population, he would be touring the country. The basic idea is this. So this is a new word. It was for me. If you're not aware, if you're aware of it, then very good. Congratulations. But for me, it was a new word. That's why I put it in a slide. Promulgate, promote, or make widely known an idea or cause. Well, anyway, this is me signing off. And last but not least, this would be the next slide is the most important slide, that you are the creator of your own destiny. So stay motivated and work hard. God bless.